Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Smackdown, and there she is, ladies and gentlemen. Beth Phoenix is here. She was challenged last week by Rhea Ripley to a match at Night of Champions. This is all stemming from what's happened recently with the Judgment Day having a falling out with Edge and Beth Phoenix. This is bound to only get worse, especially with definitely the betrayal of Rhea Ripley to Beth Phoenix, and Beth Phoenix bound to have a bunch of just anger just built up in her right now, and we're going to be hearing from Beth Phoenix. She'll be addressing Rhea Ripley next. Marilyn, thank you guys so much for having me on this sold out edition of SmackDown, but as much as I would love to talk to you guys, we have to address the situation, and that being the Judgment Day, and furthermore being Rhea Ripley and what she did to me and my husband Edge over the last couple months. Now, after WrestleMania last year, Edge, he had a falling out type of thing where, you know what, he lost to Damian Priest, who was the European champion at that time, and Edge was trying to do everything in his best power to take down the Judgment Day and just couldn't. And you know what that saying is, if you can't beat him, join him, and that's certainly what Edge did. And then Edge asked me to join him, and I certainly did. I will always have my husband's back, no matter what, good, bad, or otherwise. He's a father of my kids, our kids, and I would be there every step of the way. Was it a bad decision for Edge to become the leader of the Judgment Day? Well, with everything that he did, all that destruction that he caused? Certainly. But I wasn't going to tell him that, and certainly I was there to help out Rhea Ripley. Rhea Ripley is the future, and I see a lot of myself in Rhea Ripley. A big, strong woman that could take on any roster, man or female, in the middle of this ring. She is just so damn good. But after what occurred at SummerSlam, when the Judgment Day were over and done with my husband Edge, and then what Rhea Ripley did by destroying me backstage, it's just uncalled for, undespicable. It was absolutely despicable, and I'm not going to have any of that. So Rhea, if you're coming after me, you're certainly going to get it. And I heard your little challenge last week to have a one-on-one match at Night of Champions, and you know what? I'm not a person, the type of a woman to back down from a fight. So Rhea, if you want to fight at Night of Champions, you will certainly get it. The Glamazon against the future of the WWE. We'll see how you fare, Rhea. I know your strengths and I know your weaknesses, and you know mine just as much as you know your own. So, at Night of Champions in Sin City, Las Vegas, Nevada, I will see you there. Maryland, what is up? It is time for the Open Challenge to kick us off here tonight on SmackDown. This is the Open Challenge heading all the way through Night of Champions, if not longer. We'll see how it goes for that man, John Cena. So far undefeated in his Open Challenge streak, but tonight, who is going to step up to the plate and put down, or at least attempt to put down John Cena? So many top talent had that opportunity last week. Dijak stepped up to the plate, a man that knew John Cena quite well, but John Cena stepped up to the plate and knocked off Dijak. So it continues to get better for Cena. Akira Tozawa was the very first one, Dijak being another, and now we will see who exactly is going to step up. Is it a tag team superstar? Is it a single superstar? Is it a young superstar? Is it a legend? Who steps up to the plate? John Cena's Open Challenge will be starting momentarily. Who will be facing off with big match John Cena? Oh, this is going to be good. Former Universal Champion and a man that defeated Evolution all in one night, that being Triple H, Batista, and Randy Orton. the ever dangerous, the king of strong style, Shinsuke Nakamura. Got big match John against King Shaza himself, king of strong style, Shinsuke Nakamura. Still trying to get himself back in the win column, and this will certainly, hopefully, maybe for him, he'll start his, rejuvenate his career a little bit. Last week he took on Finn Balor, the current Intercontinental Champion, and, well, it didn't take too long for Finn Balor to put away Shinsuke Nakamura. An absolutely bad night for Nakamura, but we'll see if Nakamura can rebound tonight against John Cena. We do have ourselves a star-studded night here live on Smackdown, ladies and gentlemen. Huge main event, a big-time Extreme Rules matchup between two of the three competitors that will be in that Undisputed Championship matchup, as it will be Karrion Kross against the almighty Bobby Lashley later on tonight. We'll talk more about the lovely card we got tonight, but seems like Cena and Nakamura are all ready. Referee ringing the bell. Here we go. This Maryland crowd is all ready. And this crowd is all for John Cena right now. We'll see how Nakamura fares in this big matchup. So Nakamura with a front slam takes down Cena, trying to focus on the ribs there. Trying to take big match John Cena. Cena's starting to get in a small groove. I know Akira Tozawa and Dijak aren't certainly the biggest name superstars. Certainly haven't got themselves the career that they've wanted so far. But certainly, you know, Cena's going to start facing people that are, you know, certainly champions, I would assume, stepping up to the plate when they'll try and put John Cena in his place. And certainly John Cena and Shinsuke Nakamura are no shy of each other. They've definitely been on the same brand, so against each other as well. So plenty of matches between both men in their career. As Cena with a big time elbow to the temple, seems like he may have hurt himself more than actually Shinsuke Nakamura, as this big strong kick out at 1. And coming up later on tonight, ladies and gentlemen, the European Championship is on the line. Apollo Crews has talked to JBL about the injuries of Robert Roode, and he believes that this will be a perfect opportunity, so it seems like JBL has accepted it. So tonight, the ever battered up Robert Roode must defend his championship against Apollo Crews tonight. We'll see if his championship opportunity goes away at Night of Champions, as that 5-knuckle shuffle connected to Nakamura, but Nakamura with a strong kick out. And this is where Cena cannot get frustrated right now. He has to try to stay on Nakamura, as Nakamura, these big elbows to the knees, stuns John Cena momentarily. Cena could be in trouble. It's a big time front slam as well. Nakamura is just so dangerous, ladies and gentlemen. You gotta be so careful. It's like King Shasa out of nowhere. Does that put Cena down? No. 2.5. Cena kicks out of it. And now, Cena in a bad spot. Big time exploder suplex there from Nakamura. Cena is in trouble right now. Nakamura has Cena right where he wants him. Looking for another King Shasa from Nakamura. Nakamura with a King Shasa. Absolutely brutal King Shasa from Shinsuke Nakamura. And he's just eating this up right now. They're just going to stomp away on that left ankle and dissect John Cena even more. And I don't blame Nakamura. You know how Cena is, kicking out at every little thing if he has to. Yes, oh my goodness, what a knee strike there. And Cena rolling out of the ring. Nakamura talking a little bit of trash. Nakamura, high risk, high reward. Does he really want this? No, he misses the knee strike. Knee strike misses there. And now Cena gonna toss him back in, at least try to toss him back in the ring. And oh no, Nakamura, big time reversal. Big forearm strike, but now Cena with his own. And now big time Hurricane Rana from Cena. Both men need to start getting themselves back in the ring to possibly void a possible count out here. As Nakamura tossed right in to those steel steps. And now Nakamura realizing it. Get back inside the ring, but Nakamura now gonna just slide out of the ring. Little bit of mind games right now with the ever clever Shinsuke Nakamura here. And now this is not what John Cena wants right now. A Nakamura that's gonna dissect the middle back, the ribs, anything like this. Look at that, attacking the lower back as well. That's gonna start probably being in the favor of Shinsuke Nakamura the longer this matchup goes. Right onto the barricade here. This ain't good for Cena. Oh my goodness, that running knee to the chest. Couldn't really tell if that was on his actual face, but it certainly looked like he hit his midsection. Nakamura telling John Cena to come on. Referee had a 7 here. Oh, go for that kick. He missed the first one, but he sure as hell got that one. And Nakamura has John Cena right where he wants him. Big, strong kicks there. And now, oh, wait a minute. Nakamura, I'm not sure what the hell he was trying to go for there. But now Cena. Big time suplex there from John Cena there. And again, Cena, a little bit of back and forth here. Oh, Cena now. Uh-oh. Cena now. Is he looking for the attitude adjustment? Yes, he does. Cena with a great timing attitude adjustment to Shinsuke Nakamura. Is this enough? Oh, look at that. The rope break. Nakamura gets saved in that moment, and Cena cannot believe it. But certainly Cena should have realized his positioning and done what he's doing right now and pulled Nakamura away from the ropes. But it's all in the moment, ladies and gentlemen. It's one of those things where you're not necessarily focused on that. You're focused on getting up this win. And oh my goodness, that last elbow just busting open Nakamura. And now Cena. Cena looking for another attitude adjustment. And it connects this time from John Cena. Is that going to be enough this time? That second one connecting. Cena realizing how close Nakamura is to the ropes and doing the right thing. But the thing is, will Cena pick up the win? 2, 3, yes it is. John Cena with a hell of a win tonight live on Smackdown. Holy crap. Looking like maybe Nakamura was trying to steal maybe Cena's finishing maneuver there, but Cena was able to reverse. And ultimately, Cena connected with 2 AAs, and it puts down the King of Strong Style tonight live here on SmackDown. What a back and forth matchup. Both men putting everything on the line. But Cena, big match John Cena, he's starting to getting back to his prime, ladies and gentlemen. Cena is getting back to where he was, and it seems to be getting better and better each week here live on SmackDown. Cannot wait to see how we fare on the road to Night of Champions.
The following contest is scheduled for one fall and is for the WWE European Championship.
It is time for the European Championship to be defended here on SmackDown. Apollo Crews not willing to wait until his scheduled meeting at Night of Champions. He has talked to JBL and more than likely got Eric Bischoff involved as well, his partner, or his Eric Bischoff being Apollo Crews' client, but able to get it where he doesn't have to wait until Night of Champions to get that championship opportunity. But the question though is, if Apollo were to lose tonight, does he still have that championship matchup at Night of Champions, or is it since, he's wanting to get this matchup even earlier after Robert Roode was absolutely, utterly destroyed by Karrion Kross a couple weeks ago in the backstage area in the garage, where Robert Roode would use any part of a car vehicle to damage Robert Roode. But be very interesting, ladies and gentlemen, to really see how Robert Roode is. We've seen superstars come back earlier than injuries, so we'll see if Roode's able to continue to dig down deep right now, because he's going to have to. I know Roode's a fighter until the end, certainly, but we'll see how he fares against Apollo Crews, who's had plenty of championship reigns here on SmackDown. As there is the glorious one, Robert Roode. Your championship, European Championship, looking oh so good around the glorious one's waist there. And as of in just 2 weeks, ladies and gentlemen, Robert Roode is supposed to defend his championship against Apollo Crews. But like I mentioned, it's up in the air now after the championship being on the line tonight. And you can tell right there's some wrap or something on his chest there. I don't know if we'll be able to actually see any more to it, but certainly Robert Roode put on a happy face at this exact moment. Don't necessarily know how much damage is done to Robert Roode right now. Bound to be certainly, especially getting, you know, the car doors, the car windows, everything that Karrion Kross saw, he put Robert Roode through. So certainly, I know that was a couple weeks ago, and certainly a lot of things get healed up, but bruising and all, some of that stuff, honestly, ladies and gentlemen, it's going to be very questionable to really see how Robert Roode has done in the recovery process. But he seems like he is he's got a hell of a poker face, ladies and gentlemen, certainly. But certainly a big-time championship defense here on SmackDown. We don't necessarily see too many championship defenses here on Raw, NXT, SmackDown. A lot of times you normally see it at the pay-per-view, so this is a big-time fight feel right now. And the intensity on Apollo Crews' face, he is focused. Oh, look at that wrap around his left shoulder blade and his ribs there. I mean, it doesn't look like he's having any pain right there, but certainly it must hurt to an extent to have his shoulder wrapped and over his chest and rib area. Will Robert Roode continue his glorious reign as European champion, or will Apollo Crews be able to catch Robert Roode at not such a glorious spot in his recovery process? We are about to find out here live in Maryland. Apollo Crews, Robert Roode, here we go. Referee ringing the bell. Big opportunity, and especially when you have a wrap on yourself like that, ladies and gentlemen, that kind of gives your opponent a spot to really focus on. And did you see what that punch from Apollo Crews? That stunned Robert Roode for a little bit longer than probably normally should have, just because of the ribs hurting. And oh, right to the back. That back that was just systematically attacked, and now Apollo Crews might be able to knock off Robert Roode. But Robert Roode certainly going to continue to fight, ladies and gentlemen. As now Roode, big time power bomb, takes down Robert Roode there. And now Apollo Crews just going to systematically take it to Robert Roode now. And the good thing about this matchup, ladies and gentlemen, is both men are former WWE champions. They know how to get it done when it comes to big time matches, especially Roode, former NXT champion, former WWE champion. Apollo Crews is a former WWE champion, former United States champion, former tag team champion, and he very well could be next holder for that European championship. As a back body drop takes down Crews. Will that be enough to knock off Apollo Crews? Big pinfall attempt, but no. Strong kick out at 1. Robert Roode now going to look for a suplex. And certainly, you got to think with him hurting like that, you're going to start seeing some adrenaline flowing through him because you're fighting. It's like that fighter flight type of instincts right now. As Apollo Crews, look at this, the military press slam, and now into that vintage moonsault there from Apollo, right there on the ribs that were hurting from Karrion Kross's attack. Oh, and another focus maneuver on the middle of that back. Uh-oh. This is not going to be good for Roode right now. Taking Roode to Suplex City. Oh my goodness, not again. Big time suplexes there from Apollo Crews. Can Apollo Crews knock off Robert Roode? And no, Crews, I think Roode kicking out at the very last second saved Robert Roode momentarily. And look at this, just big clubbing blows. Oh my goodness, what a cross body from Apollo Crews, and now Crews flexing on this Maryland crowd. And Robert Roode needs to get something going, ladies and gentlemen. This is becoming worse and worse the longer this goes. The focus to the ribs. And oh, what a jumping clothesline as well, ladies and gentlemen. As this matchup continues on, ladies and gentlemen, what a great way to open up SmackDown with Beth Phoenix coming out here and basically accepting Rhea Ripley's offer to a matchup. So it is confirmed in my ear. JBL has announced that Rhea Ripley will battle Beth Phoenix live at the Night of Champions pay-per-view. Oh my goodness, right into the barricade, turning him inside out into another moonsault as well. But also tonight, ladies and gentlemen, we have a big-time matchup in the women's division as Tegan Nox, Miss Money in the Bank. She will be taking on Becky Lynch. Becky Lynch is one half of the women's tag team champions with Asuka. Certainly Asuka's definitely going to make sure she watches that either from ringside or from the back. It would be very interesting to really see how that's going to fare. It's a drop kick right to the back again, and Apollo Crews. I think we're moments away from Apollo Crews becoming the European champion, ladies and gentlemen. This is just something that I wasn't expecting. I know Robert Roode. He's going to say that he's 100%, but certainly he is not right now. He is not himself at this moment, and Apollo Crews is showing you guys why. As oh no, Apollo Crews, high risk, high reward, and what a suplex. And looks like Robert Roode gonna roll out of the ring, and rightfully so. What a showing from Apollo Crews. Obviously the advantage goes to the champion Robert Roode, but certainly the question is he gonna come back in the ring here? Does he take the count out? Does he come back to live another day here? But no, but Crews sends him back out to the outside. If I'm Roode, I as much as I would hate to walk out of this matchup, you would think that he would want to maybe throw in the white flag maybe, but I guess maybe he would lose the championship if he did it that way. I just don't know. As again, Apollo Crews dominating this matchup, ladies and gentlemen. What a utter beating, and I think this might be the time where... Oh, wait a minute, I was going to say, maybe it's a time for him to back down as a spine buster there. Will that be enough to beat Apollo? No, Apollo Crews able to kick out at 2.5. And rightfully so, I think, Roode, wait a minute, Roode looking to steal one here. Glorious DDT out of nowhere. Oh, but the rope break. And that saves the day. Robert Roode has not been able to do too much damage to Apollo Crews. This last couple minutes has been all Apollo Crews. But, so Roode now, big flying axe handle takedown of the contender. But like I mentioned, Tegan Nox versus Becky Lynch later on tonight. We also see the SmackDown return of Keith Lee. Keith Lee will be in action as he takes on Montez Ford live tonight, part of the Almighty Prophets. And also, ladies and gentlemen, we have the rematch between Miz and Trick Williams. This will be a no countout matchup. So anything can literally happen, but no countouts will be allowed. As a Kross again, just flexing on Robert Roode there. As Apollo Kross has him up. Kross now into the spinning powerbomb there. And again, man, this is just utter domination from Apollo Kross, ladies and gentlemen. And I don't know what else Apollo Kross can do. No. Back and forth we go. Both men trying to get out of the corner and certainly do the best that they can. And now, wait a minute, Roode not gonna back down there. Big clothesline. And look at this. Saving the day is Eric Bischoff. Seemed like Apollo Kross was gonna be able to get out of that, but didn't work out in his favor. And now a swinging neckbreaker takes down Kross. Roode now setting up Apollo Kross. Gonna go for the pump handle slam. Could that be enough to survive Kross? Yes, it is. Robert Roode somehow, some way survived Apollo Kross tonight. How in the hell did Roode just do that? Pump handle slam. Let's just make sure the shoulders were down the whole time. Yes, they were. And somehow, Robert Roode is still your European champion. Eric Bischoff can't believe it. He is just out of his mind. But Robert Roode showing you why he's so glorious in the middle of that ring. Enjoy this win while it lasts, Robert Roode, because this is not the last time you see me. We still will have our matchup at Night of Champions. I made sure we talked to JBL and Eric Bischoff just to make sure that in case something like this situation would occur, that we always had a backup plan. Make sure you keep that European Championship nice and warm for me, because at Night of Champions I plan on for sure taking that championship that is rightfully mine back to my corner. I've held a lot of championships in my career, but adding that European Championship sounds so sweet. It is time to whip that trick, ladies and gentlemen. Whoop that trick live here on Smackdown as Trick Williams takes on The Miz. Last week we saw Trick Williams take on The Miz one-on-one, and Miz would win via a countout and celebrated it like winning a world championship. And Carmelo Hayes is like, hey, this is not how someone of your caliber should be winning championships. If anything, you should be beating us fair and square. So Carmelo Hayes made sure that, or basically challenged Miz to have a rematch, where Miz would take on Trick Williams like they're doing right now, but make sure it would be a no count-out matchup. And what you just heard from the referee is a no-holds-barred matchup. So essentially, anything can happen. There is a no count-out. They can use weapons if they really wanted to, I suppose, but the main feature, the main part of this matchup is the no count-out part of it. And a lot of times in the no-holds-barred matches, there's a lot of times superstars don't even use weapons. So we'll see how this matchup fares, but anything essentially goes in this matchup, and the main caveat being the no count-out part, as here comes the A-lister, the awesome one, The Miz. Miz says he plans on coming after the Undisputed Championship very soon, but certainly had his eye on taking over SmackDown, and certainly when he attacked Carmelo Hayes and Trick Williams, his sights were on these young superstars coming from Raw to SmackDown. Miz was one of the superstars moved over to SmackDown with Carmelo Hayes and Trick Williams, and Miz believes that it should be his time. Miz is basically saying, hey, I'm not helping out superstars anymore. This is my time. Logan Paul, John Morrison, no more. It's all about me. I should be the one that everybody should be caring about, and I should not give two craps about anyone else besides my hot smoking wife and my kids and winning championships. The Miz is a former Intercontinental Champion and European Champion. But will Miz ever win the big one? Will he ever become a World Champion or a Undisputed Champion? Time is going to tell, but let's see how he fares against Trick Williams. Referee ringing the bell. Here we go. Like I mentioned, no count out in this matchup, but it is technically a no-holds-barred matchup, so don't be surprised if we do maybe see a weapon or two. So, oh my goodness. Devastating clothesline there, pinfall opportunity, but a strong kick out at one there from Trick Williams. Still to come tonight, like we mentioned, Tegan Nox takes on one half of the women's tag team champions and the tag team partner of Asuka, that being Becky Lynch. One-on-one, and look at this. This is almost like teabagging someone in Call of Duty. Just Miz just showing you his big grapefruits right there. But like I mentioned as well, Keith Lee is in action. Welcome back to SmackDown. His first match back here on SmackDown as he takes on Montez Ford of the Almighty Prophets. I said, ooh, big time clothesline into the corner. Miz looking like his typical self right now, taking it to Trick Williams. And also at Night of Champions, ladies and gentlemen, MVP and Omos team up of the Hurt Business to take on the Almighty Prophets, Montez Ford and Angelo Dawkins. We'll see how the Hurt Business and the Almighty Prophets fare there at Night of Champions. A lot of big-time matches are coming our way at Night of Champions, and we even added another one tonight, that being Beth Phoenix and Rhea Ripley. A lot of big things are happening here on SmackDown, ladies and gentlemen, as, Miz now, like we mentioned, introducing weapons, and it seems like he's ready to introduce a table. That's what happens in these no-holds-barred matches. Like we mentioned, it was supposed to be a no-count-out type of matchup. JBL decided to make this a no-holds-barred matchup. At the end of the day, JBL proves stuff, and he can ultimately change the stipulation or whatever, but still technically there is a no count out part of this matchup, so anything can still go. As Trick Williams trying to take it to Miz here. Look at that skull crushing finale. He just stole Miz's finisher. That's gotta be humiliating for the Miz right now, just to have his finisher stolen right in front of him. And certainly, imagine if this was in the middle of the ring. Trick Williams very well could have walked out victorious here. And I think Williams notices that because he's heading back in the ring. If I'm Trick Williams, go for the pinfall, young man. Put down Miz and have one of the biggest wins of your career. As a swinging neck breaker there. And Miz all fired up here in Maryland. As both superstars go back and forth here. Trick Williams now, big time clothesline as, oh, what a elbow, stunning the Miz into a big elbow drop as well. Trick Williams feeling himself up here, and certainly, like I mentioned, would be one of the biggest wins of his young career. As, Miz now. He's going to go with those Miz kicks. Once made famous by Daniel Bryan. It's a big kick to the skull. Is that enough to put away Trick? 2, 3, yes it is. Despite having his own move used against him, Miz tonight showing why he is the better superstar between himself and Trick Williams. Good back and forth matchup. Trick Williams, like I mentioned, even hitting his finisher, stealing Miz's finisher, but Miz, the veteran, digs down deep and picks up his second win over Trick Williams last week and this week on SmackDown. Just the man I've been looking for. Man, a hell of a win, man. Over Edge, the Rated R superstar, the man that was a former leader of our group. You really put him in his place. And I would say I'm surprised, but I think what we did to Edge at SummerSlam, he just hasn't been himself. He's never going to recover. Definitely the biggest win of your career, JD, but certainly there's something we got to talk about. A couple weeks ago, you came out after Judgment Day beat Carlito, LA Knight, and Shinsuke Nakamura, and you came out trying to get our attention. Now I'm kind of curious what the hell all of that was about. I wasn't trying to provoke you guys, so I'm hoping you guys don't think that was that. But I think your group is absolutely impressive, Finn. I've looked up to you my whole career, especially when I came through NXT UK and went through NXT, did all my stuff through NXT, and then eventually been on the main roster. I've always looked up to you, Finn. I believe I could be a huge asset to the Judgment Day. Now, you guys don't have to necessarily take me on right away. I'm down to prove myself, prove my worth, and hopefully what I did to Edge really proved with how dangerous I can be. I know, Finn, you are a former WWE champion, former Mr. Money in the Bank, and so many other things, but I believe we could make this work. I think certainly the Judgment Day, I could very well help you guys get all the championships on SmackDown. You retaining your Intercontinental Championship, getting Dominic and Damian some championships, getting Rhea Ripley back the Women's Championship, and then also someone's got to knock off Cody Rhodes, and I believe you would be the best man to do that. What do you say, Finn? We have so much stuff going on. Night of Champions. You get the ECW One Night Stand coming up at a month after that, and then also you got Survivor Series. You never know what's going to go on with that. You're gonna need allies. You made a bunch of enemies, which I certainly don't care about, but certainly you're gonna need someone to have your back, and I believe you need the Irish Ace. I mean, you do make a lot of valid points. I do want to get all of us back to where we were and winning all the championships, getting Rhea back a championship, get Dominic a championship, get Damian back a championship, and I plan on retaining my championship at Night of Champions, but certainly taking over all the championships on SmackDown is a major thing the Judgment Day wants to do. Certainly I don't have a problem adding you to our group. Edge helped us out for more than half of the year, but he wasn't contributing. But you've already defeated Edge, a man that wasn't not even 100% after coming back recently, and you put him down, hopefully permanently. But knowing Edge, a man that continues to come back and come back and come back, I certainly don't see him staying down too much longer. How about this? As much as I would love to add you to the Judgment Day right away, I want you to do some things for the Judgment Day. It's a lot of stuff behind the scenes. So we'll talk to you more, the whole group, but I want to see you at the Night of Champions pay-per-view, and we'll talk as a group, and we'll talk to you more at Night of Champions, because Night of Champions is just right around the corner, just 2 weeks away, and all of us Judgment Day members need to stay focused, and adding you right away may not be the best decision to do it, but certainly I want you to come back at Night of Champions, join us in the locker room, and we're going to trade some ideas off, JD. So come back at Night of Champions. Well, it seems like we could have some big news for JD McDonough, possibly. Sounds like Finn Balor is still on the fence. It seems like he doesn't want to add him to the group permanently. He says that he wants to, but it seems like he wants to bring JD McDonough to Night of Champions to have him sit in with the Judgment Day group and really just kind of have a feel of how the Judgment Day as a group handles business. Now, we'll see. I mean, Finn and JD McDonough go way back, but you know, you gotta involve Damian Priest, Rhea Ripley, Dominic Mysterio into those situations, so we'll see how that fares. But here comes the Almighty Prophets, Montez Ford and Angelo Dawkins. Montez Ford normally used to that tag team action, but tonight he gets to be a singles competitor as he faces off with the SmackDown return of Keith Lee. And I think this is very well could be an underrated matchup. You got the strength and power, this actually a lot of speed and agility from Keith Lee, and then Montez Ford that has one of the best frog splashes in the game today. And certainly his speed and agility is very underrated as well, and that's why I think eventually, you know, Street Profits will get those tag team championships, but will when will it be? I mean, Bobby Lashley certainly plans on helping these boys walk out with tag team championships, but first off, they are going to have to go through MVP and Omos to necessarily look to go to that next level. They've already beaten Cedric Alexander and Shelton Benjamin in tag team action. We'll see how they fare when it comes to MVP and Omos. But now, here comes Keith Lee. We are about to bask in his glory. And there is MVP, the manager of Keith Lee. Keith Lee and MVP bringing Keith Lee over from NXT to SmackDown now. And it seems like there is definitely a huge thing with Keith Lee joining the Hurt Business, that being a big takeover from it being Bobby Lashley to Keith Lee. I believe this could absolutely be monumental when you think about it for the Hurt Business. For Keith Lee, MVP, Omos, Cedric, and Shelton. This group definitely could go places. You could definitely say the same thing about when Bobby Lashley was it, but they still struggled. I mean, yes, Omos was a former European champion, but still just could not figure it out. But now Keith Lee tonight with MVP at ringside. We'll see how he fares, and with MVP being at ringside, he can scout Montez Ford here as well. Certainly get a taste of what's going to be coming his way live at Night of Champions in 2 weeks. Referee ringing the bell. Here we go. Montez Ford and Keith Lee. And oh my goodness. Starting off with a major spine buster to kick us off here, but Montez Ford striking right back. Keith Lee was trying to get this Maryland crowd behind him, but Montez Ford not going to allow that early. Certainly going to be a hard-hitting matchup for sure, and Keith Lee doesn't want to have his return match to SmackDown it turning into a losing effort. Let's look at this, the strength, the power right here to Montez Ford with that long gyrating suplex there. Montez Ford trying to, maybe throw off Keith Lee's major game here as a release power suplex, I guess you could call it. It's a big striking knee to the temple. Montez Ford has to be very careful with this big man, ladies and gentlemen. He starts hitting those powerful maneuvers. It's going to be a short matchup for sure. Now we'll get Montez going for that DDT, spiking him on his head. Back and forth we go. Montez Ford almost like running into a brick wall, and again, going to go with another DDT. Trying to just throw Keith Lee off his game. He knows he can't go with the ground and the pound game, so he's attacking the head, and certainly that very well could help out Montez at the end of the day. If certainly Keith Lee doesn't know where the hell he's at, he's not going to be really beneficial in this matchup. As oh my goodness, a big time suplex. Keith Lee now. Oh my goodness! Turning Montez Ford inside out. Absolutely a beauty of a maneuver there. There's a big kick to the temple. Keith Lee grabbing Montez Ford. Ford more than likely was going to be trying to go for a springboard type of maneuver, but eats an electric chair. And now Keith Lee, high risk here. Does he even need to do this? Big elbow to the chest of Montez Ford. Ford is in trouble right now, especially with that big elbow to the chest off that top rope. Keith Lee is a big man, and it's not something you want to be taking much of. As it right into the corner there. And no, Keith Lee not done yet. Gonna go one more time in the other corner. Loosen up that back as much as he can. As a big punch takes down Ford. I don't know how much Ford is going to have left in him after this matchup. Let's see if he can dig down deep and get back in this matchup. Oh, there we go, Insaguri, but didn't really stun him, but he's able to hit a standing Spanish fly to Keith Lee, and Ford's all fired up right now. This is what Ford needs to do to get back in the matchup. Dig down deep. This is not going to be easy. Bobby Lashley picked Ford and Dawkins for a reason, and Keith Lee now is busted open. Oh, but look at this. Almost like an end of days, but no, Montez Ford with a big reversal. And look at Montez Ford, that physicalness, busting open Keith Lee right there. And again, targeting that open wound on the temple. Now going to focus on that right shoulder, that right arm, and just dissect Keith Lee as much as possible. Going for that super kick. Keith Lee saw it coming. And now, Keith Lee, he missed the first time, but he connects with a end of days. Very similar to the one from Baron Corbin. And it ends the day of Montez Ford. Good back and forth matchup. Keith Lee able to dig down and deal with Montez Ford. Will this be the sign of things to come for the Street Profits and Bobby Lashley? Or will this just be a little minor bump in the road for the Street Profits and Bobby Lashley? But big win for Keith Lee and MVP here live on Smackdown. Now this is going to be a much needed win for Tegan Nox, Miss Money in the Bank. And we all know she is going to be cashing in that Miss Money in the Bank briefcase live at Night of Champions. It is going to be one heck of a matchup and something that certainly I think nobody is really ready for. Tegan Nox came up to Asuka last week after Asuka was in action. She didn't back down. She got face to face with Asuka, and she would attack Asuka and put Asuka in her place. And I think it's just more of an aggressive attitude to really show Asuka that, yeah, Tegan Nox is going to be a whole different animal. I don't think it's necessarily a change from who she is necessarily, but I think it's just, like I mentioned, more of a, a wake-up call to Asuka saying, hey, you can't look over this talent. You can't look over Tegan Nox. Tegan Nox is focused. She laid out Asuka last week. As now here comes your one half of the Women's Tag Team Champions, Becky Lynch, making her way down the ring, and noticeably absent is one half of the Women's Tag Team Champions and your current Women's Champion, Asuka. So maybe this is a matchup where Becky Lynch will say, hey, I can do this all by myself tonight. I don't need you at ringside. I will take care of Tegan Nox. Becky Lynch has certainly done it all here in WWE. Been on the top of the mountain, multi-time SmackDown Women's Champion. Even there, a champion on Monday Night Raw as well. So she's trying to make those Women's Tag Team Championships very, very prestigious. We'll see how she fares at Backlash. As the referee rings the bell, coming up this Sunday, ladies and gentlemen, Becky Lynch and Asuka will be defending their Women's Tag Team Championships against Damage Control's Io Sky and Dakota Kai. So this is going to be a big-time matchup for Becky Lynch. She's going to want to get this matchup over and done with quickly, so she walks in there as close to 100% as possible. And big chop to the chest there of Tegan. As, bouncing Tegan's head right off that top turnbuckle. Certainly not the best thing to be eating in the ring there. And still to come, ladies and gentlemen, later on tonight, we got Sami Zayn. He'll be in action, one half of the SmackDown Tag Team Champions, taking on Kofi Kingston. Coming up at Night of Champions, ladies and gentlemen, in just 2 weeks' time, we are going to be seeing the New Day. After winning a triple threat tag team matchup last week, they will be challenging the SmackDown Tag Team Champions, Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn, live at Night of Champions. But this week and next week, you're going to get a little bit of a taste on what both of those teams bring to the table. This week, Sami Zayn, Kofi. Next week, it will be Kevin Owens and Xavier Woods. Tegan Nox looking pretty good here so far against Becky Lynch. We'll see if she can keep this up here. As I'll look at this. Oh my goodness. Imagine just being tossed up in the air like that, and just, it's not being thrown up in the air that hurts, obviously. It's going to be that sudden impact on the ground. And now Becky Lynch going to loosen up that back there. Becky Lynch trying to figure out what she wants to do right now. Seems like she's just getting started here. As Lynch now up top here. Is this a good idea? Especially this close to Backlash. Just in 2 days' time, she's able to connect with that jumping forearm, or I should say flying forearm. Will that be enough to put away Tegan? No, it will not. Obviously, Becky Lynch has so much more experience compared to Tegan Nox, but doesn't necessarily mean it's going to go in the favor of Becky Lynch. Certainly, Becky Lynch has fought the best of the best that we've seen here on Raw and SmackDown. As look at the back's bottom there to Tegan Nox. Is that gonna be it? 2. Big kick out there from Tegan Nox, and Becky Lynch cannot believe it. She thought she had her. Becky Lynch telling Tegan to come get up to her feet. Show her at least have some fight in you. Big time leg drop, and now again with the reverse leg drop. Tegan Nox needs to figure out something right now. Becky Lynch has almost put her away once, and it very well could happen a second time. Big forearm striking now again. Oh my goodness, a big stunner right there. Dropping her, and Becky Lynch not going to allow Tegan Nox to take any more resting time here as Becky Lynch. Oh my goodness, what a maneuver. Absolutely bringing the fight to Tegan Nox. I was going to say maybe Tegan Nox might not be able to recover from that, but right now she's trying to keep up with Becky Lynch at the moment. Big kicks there, and the chop, and another kick. Tegan Nox at one time part of Team Kick was herself and Dakota Kai. The early stages of their career. As a big time elbow there. Both women need to start to get themselves back in the ring here. Referee at a 6. Be ashamed to have ourselves a count out. We're at a 7. Back in the ring we go, I believe. Yes, we are. Avoiding a potential count out, and a running enziguri takes down the champ. Becky is in trouble right now. Tegan has her right where she wants her. Big kick there. Oh, we've seen this before. Looking for some Panama Sunrise here in Maryland. Will that be all she wrote? 2. No, Lynch kicks out at the very last second. Tegan cannot believe it. What else does Tegan need to do to put her away? The shiniest wizard right on the temple of Becky Lynch. 1, 2. No, again, Lynch kicks out at the last second. And Tegan Nox, she's got to stay on her. And again, another shiniest wizard. Why not? Didn't work the first time. This very well could help the second time. Yes, it does. Tegan Nox with literally, I would say, the biggest win of her career. A win over a multi-time champion and Becky Lynch. As look at that Panama Sunrise. It was not enough in that. And then the second shiniest wizard puts away Becky Lynch. And I am absolutely pleased with what we've seen from Tegan Nox last week and this week, stepping up to Asuka and beating Becky Lynch this week, ladies and gentlemen. I think Tegan Nox is ready for Asuka. And there's a lot of times Asuka says nobody is ready for Asuka. But I think this is the one time somebody is actually ready for Asuka. How was that win last week, Karrion? Did you get really much time to celebrate? I don't think you did, because I think your ass got handed to you a couple times by the almighty Bobby Lashley. But now tonight, I get to whip that ass again and again in this Extreme Rules matchup. If I had it my way, I'd hurt you so damn bad you wouldn't even make it to the Night of Champions pay-per-view, but hey, I actually might need you in that matchup, because maybe I could let you do all the beating. Maybe Cody, you could hurt Cody, or Cody could hurt you, but I could get the pinfall, or even the submission if I feel like making one of you guys tap out. So yes, the numbers game is not in my favor, but this triple threat matchup makes it very, very intriguing for me. Karrion, it is just not your time. It is the Almighty's time. Myself and my Street Profits are planning on taking over SmackDown. So whatever you're thinking about doing, you might as well just hold back, because the Almighty is taking over SmackDown. One way or another will run through you, over you. It does not matter. It does not matter, you say. That's quite funny, Bobby, because no one really cares about what you and your almighty prophets are going to do here on SmackDown. Your whole career has been irrelevant, and it's going to continue to be irrelevant when I walk out undisputed champion live at Night of Champions. So tick-tock, because tonight I'm putting you in an ambulance in this Extreme Rules match. I do have a feeling this Extreme Rules matchup tonight is going to get very, very ugly. And if I'm Cody Rhodes, if I'm watching this in the back, I am got to be sitting there with my mouth just drooling, because you're going to see two of your challengers just beating the living crap out of each other, talking about putting each other into an ambulance, or to the point where they're not even going to possibly be in the matchup in 2 weeks time. So certainly it is definitely going to break down tonight. We'll see how that fares. But tonight in our co-main event, it is Kofi Kingston. He is in action taking on Sami Zayn. Definitely going to be a high-flying affair for sure. And next week we're going to see Xavier Wood, that man right on your screen with the trombone, with Francesca. They will be taking on Kevin Owens live on SmackDown, as we itch closer and closer to the SmackDown exclusive pay-per-view known as Night of Champions. We're talking about pay-per-views, ladies and gentlemen. In just 2 days' time, Sunday, we will be seeing the Backlash Raw exclusive pay-per-view. And certainly that show is going to be off the charts. As now here comes Sami Zayn, ladies and gentlemen, accompanying with Kevin Owens. So there is Sami Zayn there, ladies and gentlemen. One half of the tag team champions. And I think this is a perfect first title defense for Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn. I said it before when New Day won last week. This is a pivotal test in the tag team career for Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens. And you're probably thinking, well, no doubt. But the reason I say it is because of all the accomplishments that the New Day have done as a tag team individually. It does not matter. But I literally think if you could have a better tag team that you could have your first title defense, I believe it's the New Day. Referee ringing the bell. Here we go. Kofi and Sami. Let's see who can build some momentum heading into next week's singles matchup between Xavier and Kevin. And look at this. Oh, trying to wrench in that left knee there. And I think that'd be a good strategy for Sami Zayn to do, so that Kofi isn't jumping, gyrating, bouncing off everything. Certainly, I think Sami would ultimately favor that for himself as well. As a big-time swinging neck breaker takes down Sami Zayn. Big haymaker, and I believe this is just the start for the New Day. They kind of get that refresh, you could say, just in the terms of being away from Big E and not having to deal with Big E anymore, and not having to worry about him, and kind of have them in that dark shadow that was, overcasting them on Monday Night Raw with Big E and D-Generation X and everything. As both men continue to go back and forth here. Certainly both superstars know each other so well, not just in the terms of maybe they haven't had really too many matches against each other, but if you necessarily think about, how long they've been here in the series and just wrestling on the same brand and everything, well, there's plenty of tape on both superstars. As Kofi trying to make sure Sami Zayn can't get any breathing room, he's trying to stay on Sami Zayn. And that's the veteran Kofi Kingston for you, ladies and gentlemen. Not going to back down whatsoever, as a big stomp to the chest of Sami Zayn. And ladies and gentlemen, we do have some matches to announce. We've already mentioned the Kevin Owens and Xavier Woods matchup next week. But coming up next week, we're also going to see The Miz back in action. But this time, he takes on Carmelo Hayes. Carmelo Hayes looking to give Miz his receipt. Miz has defeated Trick Williams twice now, as both men need to start getting back in the ring here. Don't want to have ourselves a count out. Referee trying to get Sami back in the ring, but Kofi saves the matchup there, and now he's going to get himself some more of Sami Zayn there. But like we mentioned, big time matchup, Miz and Carmelo Hayes. Cody Rhodes, he will be back here on SmackDown next week. I mean, we haven't seen Cody Rhodes so far anyway, but so far has not made an appearance, if he has not made an appearance right now. But Cody Rhodes will be here on SmackDown as a trouble in paradise to Sami Zayn. 2-3. Kofi Kingston takes down Sami Zayn, gets himself a big win over Sami Zayn, and a much needed win for the New Day. And I believe this is great. You know, pick up the win in the triple threat, pick up a win over one half of the tag team champions, and I think this is the route that the New Day definitely need. We'll see how Xavier fares with Kevin Owens next week here live on SmackDown. Good luck, Xavier. You're going to need it. Ladies and gentlemen, it is main event time here live on SmackDown. And this matchup is a Extreme Rules matchup between the two superstars that go to war in that big time triple threat undisputed championship matchup at Night of Champions. Last week here we saw Karrion Kross literally pick up his biggest win on the main roster here over the undisputed champion Cody Rhodes. And I think that makes Karrion Kross even a bigger threat in that matchup. It's not every day you see Cody Rhodes lose that matchup, but Karrion Kross defeated Cody Rhodes, and then after the matchup, Bobby Lashley would attack Karrion Kross from behind and hit not just one spear, but multiple spears on Karrion Kross. And for a big man to be wearing a suit, doing that even more impressive. But we'll see how Lashley fares, ladies and gentlemen, against Karrion Kross when Kross doesn't have his back turned on him in this matchup. This is going to be absolutely brutal, and we even heard both men talk some major trash before the last matchup. So we'll see who is going to be to ultimately walk out victorious. And like we mentioned, we have not seen Cody Rhodes so far tonight, and if he's not gonna show up tonight here on SmackDown, I'm being told he will be showing up for sure on the next SmackDown. And if I'm Cody Rhodes, you don't have to show up here. You don't need to show up to watch these two gentlemen beat the living crap out of each other, because this is going to be a colossal matchup. Two big men just beating the living crap out of each other. Will it be tick-tock for Bobby Lashley tonight, or will Bobby Lashley, the Almighty, able to outlast the man that is literally the king of mind games? Karrion Kross still looking for his first major championship here on the main roster. There in NXT, he was a former Intercontinental Champion. Then the Intercontinental Championship would get merged and ultimately would lose to CM Punk, or I should say North American Champion, pardon me. He was North Intercontinental Champion, merged it with the North American Championship, and then would go on to have a big time matchup, a double championship against CM Punk, and ultimately Kross would lose that matchup to CM Punk. So besides that big time matchup for Kross, he hasn't really won that championship matchup so far here. But when will Karrion Kross become champion? You got to believe it's going to be here sooner rather than later. But the question is, when will that happen? It's bound to get very, very ugly in this matchup between Bobby Lashley and Karrion Kross. I cannot wait to see how this fares, though. Bobby seems ready, so does Karrion. Here we go. Referee rings the bell. Let's see how physical this match is going to be. Obviously, pinfall submission in the middle of this ring, but these guys can go all over this ring, outside, this ring outside the arena if they really wanted to. I mean, Karrion Kross has shown everybody that he's willing to hurt anybody in his way. He's done it to the likes of RK Bro, Randy Orton, Matt Riddle, and even Robert Roode, who we saw earlier on tonight, still dealing with the effects of that attack. As Kross was trying to introduce those steel steps, Bobby Lashley not going to allow that to happen, but he's eating some very vicious elbow strikes there. That's a big-time gut-wrench suplex, throwing Lashley, and now Kross again trying to introduce the steel steps, but Lashley again just a little bit faster in this exchange. Something about steel steps that these wrestlers love. I mean, we saw it in the matchup at SummerSlam, ladies and gentlemen, between Karrion Kross and Brock Lesnar. Both those men used those steel steps, and it was just absolutely brutal every time we saw them used in that match. As both men going back and forth here. Lashley doing the right thing, trying to get Kross away from the steel steps, and now Lashley going to grab the other steel steps. And now, sledgehammer right to the ribs. Kross starting to swing for the fences here. And now Lashley going to connect with the zone, but now this time Lashley's actually staying on the attack. Something that what Kross wasn't doing. And again, this is what Kross, he didn't have to introduce the sledgehammer. Lashley using this every part of the way, and he is just injuring the living crap out of Kross. And Lashley's telling, hey, Kross, get up to your feet, man. You want to introduce this weapon? I don't mind using it on you. Kross this time able to get out of the way. Let's see if he decides to use it. Oh, Kross definitely wants to use it. Gonna get his receipt in this matchup now. We'll talk some major trash. Both men, oh my goodness. This is both Lashley and Kross's favorite weapon, it seems. Now Kross going to take Lashley back in the ring here now. Wait a minute. Kross. Oh, we're definitely swinging for the fences now with this baseball bat. Oh my goodness, over the head. Kross is like, hey, if you want to leave the ring, I'll use it again on your head. This might be a quick matchup, ladies and gentlemen. Uh-oh, Lashley, big time punch to the face. We know Lashley, a former MMA wrestler. And now, an F10 out of nowhere there from Karrion Kross. Is that it? 2. No, Lashley able to kick out a 2.5. Good back and forth matchup. Very physical, very brutal, with weapons being introduced from lovely steel steps, baseball bat, not kendo stick, but anything could very well else be used, as we got that full Nelson. Will Karrion Kross have to tap out here? Lashley has defeated a couple superstars with the full Nelson. Could Karrion Kross be next? Uh-oh. Lashley, can he hold on to it here? Oh, the strength of power. Karrion Kross gets out of it. Question is how much damage was done with that maneuver to Kross. Oh, going for a belly to belly. And he's able to connect. And oh no, Kross is looking to continue to swing. And that big thud to the back of the neck and the back as well. And now Lashley wants some more. He wants some more damage done. Kross now. Looks like the baseball bat is done and out of the way here. Kross now. Uh-oh. With the Doomsday Saito suplex to Bobby Lashley. You gotta believe that has to be it. No! Lashley kicked out. Absolutely crazy. And now Kross trying to just think of anything that he could do at this exact moment. Both men face to face. That's ultimately a stalemate at this moment. What do they need to do to put each other away? Kross honestly isn't too sure. He's trying to decide really what he wants to do. Maybe introduce a weapon? Oh, he wants to steal steps. And oh no! Lashley should have not come out the ring. Oh my goodness. And Kross again, a second steel step shot to the temple. Oh no, and he wants the other ones now. He doesn't like the other ones he just used twice. He wants to go back to the well. And now Lashley. Oh, throws him right on the steel steps. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness, this ain't good. And now Lashley gets hit from behind. Different variation of a zigzag maneuver. He definitely told you guys this matchup was going to be very physical, very personal, and I'm surprised neither superstar is busted open yet. As now, Karrion Kross has him up again. Another F10 to Bobby Lashley. Can Lashley dig down deep again and kick out? No, he cannot. And Karrion Kross, back-to-back weeks of not only putting down the undisputed champion Cody Rhodes, but now this week he takes down Bobby Lashley the Almighty. The momentum is certainly in the corner of Karrion Kross, but the thing is, in 2 weeks' time, when it is a triple threat matchup, anything goes. Can Karrion Kross walk out with the undisputed championship live at Night of Champions?